Hello, this is John Sace, host of the bi-weekly podcast, Half Truths and Whole Lies. In this episode, we will explore the explosive growth of pet care in the U.S. It now exceeds the economies of 12 separate nations. That is ridiculous. When a woman spends $20,000 on a 20-year-old cat for chemo, and the cat lives for an additional 5 days and spends none on her crack-addicted deadbeat son, that is an issue. When an elderly couple spends more money on premium dog food and amenities than on their entire health care for the year, that is crazy. The list goes on. Wagyu beef, pet hotels, pet saunas, designer clothes for dogs, emotional support humans to assist the dogs, and animal psychiatrists to diagnose depression and anxiety. Oh, whoop-de-doo. That is nuts. In this episode, we're going to explore this and other issues with my co-host. Hello, this is John Sace, host of the podcast Half Truths and Whole Lies, along with my co-host, Carl. Carl, how is my sophist brother doing?
I'm awesome, John.
Do you even know what sophist is? I looked it up today.
No, I didn't look up sophist.
It means
I thought that's somebody who lays on a sofa.
Well, that might be you too, but it's a clever individual always comes to the wrong conclusions. That is you. So anyway, good deal. We got to start off with some educational stuff, you know.
Now you're going to have me look up sophist.
Okay, so today in this episode, everyone, we're going to be looking at extreme pet care that's done in the U.S. It's kind of over the top compared to most other nations. And we're going to start off with a little discussion of a little bit about our own history as pet owners. I've had 3 dogs in my life, and all of them lived to about 15. I have no dogs now, but I've actually hastened to the end of 2 of my dogs. Some people think I personally participated in the death of 2 of my 3 dogs. The first one I put down through a vet when he had seizures. The second one I accidentally rolled over in the car when I had a baby, turned and it rolled over the back. He survived for a day. Then we had to put him down. So some people think I killed him. Third one,
I would say you killed him.
The third one is a mongrel that we picked up. Basically, he lived about 15 or 16. I cooked a fried turkey, and the remnants of it were in a big aluminum pan. He was an outside dog completely, but I gave him the whole rendering of fat from this fried turkey, and he's like 15 or 16. After he ate, I didn't think he'd eat the whole thing, but he did. He ate an inch of fat in this big pan. And then the next day he was tottering around, and I thought nothing of it, and he slowly seemed to recover. And then 2 or 3 days after that, I found him under a bush in our backyard. But we did have a nice ceremony. This is my extreme parenting. I dug a hole in the backyard under a tree, buried him with Sean, my son, and we said some prayers over him and put a little cat thing on top, a little statue of a cat. Also, I've had one cat that I got through some relationship, and I hated that cat, and he peed everywhere. I've had everything. Now I don't have anything, so I can say what it's like not having anything.
Are you happier?
I think I am, because I can travel more freely. I have more time to do whatever I want.
But who listens to you ramble?
Who listens to me ramble?
It's not Claire.
It's the guys at the pickleball court. Okay. So that's kind of my super quick take on my background of pet ownership. So Carl, give me a quick version of...
Quick version of me. I've had 8 dogs, 3 cats. I've never intentionally or unintentionally killed either one of them. I have put animals down once they were blind, no teeth, and limping. And that was usually between the ages of 12 and 15.
Bed back there. So
That's Piper.
You sleep with the dogs, right?
Yeah. Piper sleeps with us.
Don't know
Curls
what
up
to say
and
about that.
That doesn't move, doesn't bother us. In fact, she's getting so old now, I think it bugs her when I wake her up in the morning.
Oh, you got to kick her out of the bed?
Yeah, you got to give her a prod. Get up.
Consider yourself an extreme pet owner before we go on?
I do not consider myself. I do spoil the dogs compared to what we were raised with. I let them stay in the house, in and out. I take them on walks all the time, but that's kind of half for me, half for them. Give them treats. I give them doggy ice cream maybe once a week. It's not like regular ice cream, John. That stuff's not good for dogs. But I have to buy it at Walmart because it's cheaper there. So just to let you know, I don't spend the $5 plus at the grocery store. I wouldn't want you to think that our family cheap streak has totally left me. So anyway, I've had many dogs, and usually I've fed them all Purina dog chow their whole lives.
So you seem like a good dog owner. You don't abuse your dogs. You seem to do a good job. Maybe a little extreme. Have you ever taken your dogs to like dog training?
No.
Which I did that multiple times.
My whole agreement was I agree to take care of them and love them, but I'm not going to spend my time training them. I thought about training them. I think my daughters tried training a couple of our dogs when they were younger. You know how little kids, but it's around 10, think it's a cool thing, and then got be tired of it. It takes discipline and time.
Okay, so let's
they can sit and, they'll stay.
They'll know those commands. So let's go over a little bit about this extreme pet care in the U.S. because it's pretty wild. We spend about $150 billion, which exceeds the GDP of multiple countries, on pet care. 70% of pet owners buy premium dog food. There's a ton of things that go around the cognitive abilities, which is interesting. A dog is about the equivalent of a 2 to 2.5-year-old infant in terms of a cognitive ability. They'll know up to maybe average 165 words, and they're emotionally tied into their pleasing their owner. A cat is a little dumber, factually, and they only tend to learn things that give them direct benefit, meaning food and shelter. When they get stressed, I learned this, dogs go to their owner. Cats go hide out. So there's a lot of weird shit around dogs and cats, but I think a lot of it is geared to what the person is thinking about what's appealing to the dog. So let's go into the dog food thing, and you can
just let you know. Dog food? Want me to talk about it? You good? Okay. Your facial expressions showed differently, so I was, questioning.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They're not linked to any emotion of mine.
I know. You're like a dog. They're not smiling. They're breathing hard. Okay, so actually I had a cat and had urinary, my last cat who got eaten by a coyote.
See, you
maybe I killed that cat because I didn't let him inside in time, and he took a nap in the middle of the yard, and the coyote just said, "Hey, late night hors d'oeuvre."
I think we're going to get a call or AACP. No, that's what.
Yes, the American ASPCA, American Society of Prevention of Cruelty to Animals.
Yeah, they're going to kind of go, boy, what these two dudes. Okay, keep going. So
anyway,
talk about your
when
cat.
He was having this urinary tract thing, the vet's like, oh, Hill's Science Diet urinary stuff. And like a little bag, $20 is like, 20 pounds is like $80. Expensive compared to the Purina cat chow I've been feeding him. But Purina makes a type that's urinary tract formula. And I started researching the whole thing and how Science Diet is by prescription only, and it's all just a marketing game. I got him the Purina. It worked fine. He got better. Hell, I wish I could take some chunks of each and go analyze them in the lab, which is possible these days, but I didn't feel like going that extreme.
Well, that reminds me, how there's big advertisements for Dr. Marty pet food? I hear it all the time.
No, I don't see that one. I see Fresh Pet. And
so Fresh Pet and Dr. Marty's are in the $30-something a pound range. I looked up one of the most expensive dog foods that comes from New Zealand. It was $288 for an 8-pound bag. It is apparently freeze-dried.
It's freeze-dried.
Freeze-dried.
I looked up the New Zealand one. Maybe a skeptic. Then I start seeing in the last 5 years, maybe all these Fresh Pet, Farmer's Dog, guilt you out. Your dog will be better feeling and all this other stuff.
The human
So I started, that's when we came up, I started going, what the heck? When my dog's been eating Purina dog chow and seem to be pretty healthy and happy. Is this just guilt marketing? And you're right, John. The average from like Purina dog chow, basic Purina dog chow, the cost for like Fresh Pet and Nom Nom are like 5 times as much. Instead of spending $50 a month on a 50-pound dog, you're going to spend $250. Vets and stuff will go, it's better because it's got more moisture in it. There are probably some benefits to it.
Give them Gravy Train.
You got to
Gravy Train is
Old Roy, right?
Gravy Train, you dump in there, add water in it.
Hot water, and now it's cooked. So anyway, there's a lot of interesting stuff about it, but basically it's going to be 5 times as much.
It's more expensive on average per pound than straight beef, chicken, and poultry by a lot.
Right, but most of it's lightly cooked or gently cooked, so it does break down the protein chains a little easier, so it's easier to digest. That's what the whole thing is about. They've done some studies, but they're all corporate sponsored stuff, that only lasts 1 or 2 years. And they're showing, the coat looks better. They have less fecal waste because a lot of it's a little bit better digested, I guess. So the uptake is a little better. And it's also got more water in it. So they had better hydration. I can believe all those things, even though they're company sponsored.
Yeah, the bottom line, it's probably slightly better, but you could probably throw some Purina dog chow and a can of potted meat, and it would be like the equivalent, right? Give them
I'd say that there's probably some dogs who need certain types of food because of digestive problems.
What about those fancy feast things that come in those damn little tiny cans? I don't know what they have in them. What do they have? Caviar for cats?
It's cat food.
So stupid. I think we've agreed that is it worth it? There's probably some maybe a little bit higher level than Purina dog chow that might break down easier for older dogs.
Well, it's like anything else, John, though. Most of us were trained to be, I would like to use the word frugal. Our probably spouses would say cheap.
I like value. That's me. Value oriented.
But it all depends on what you want to spend money on, right? And if you can afford it. So don't make yourself pet poor, okay? Because you think you need to buy, if you're not maxing out your 401k and have health insurance, you shouldn't be buying your pet farmer's dog.
There is instances where people will spend more on their dogs, these older people that go crazy on their pets. They get so emotionally attached. And that's another thing. Dog owners do this way more than cat owners. They do what's called human substitution.
Right.
And put these traits on their dog. They're treating them better than their own kid in a lot of instances later in life. And
doesn't that usually deserve that kind of treatment most of the time?
I don't know. If your dog is hurt and say he's drug-addled dog, say he's a cocaine dog, like cocaine grizzly, you'll probably put him in some addiction program. Knowing these dog owners, they'd send him to a $100,000 a year addiction program. My cocaine wiener dog. Well, it's quite possible. I wouldn't doubt.
Wouldn't you treat your dog better than your son if your son had been through 3 rehab programs and still was coming back?
I don't know. But, when some of these people get so caught up their pet that it's a substitute completely for human.
If that creates social isolation. That's the things I was looking at, like the psychological impact of being an over-pampering pet parent, furball, whatever you want to call it, is like isolation from society because it's all about your pet. Your pet needs to eat at this certain time, or your pet needs to be walked at this certain time, or then it becomes kind of like the controlling force.
Right. It reminds me of, I've known a couple people that have these pet they take all the time with them. Like they'll take them almost in their large purse, right? They'll have the dog or little toy dog with them everywhere, and they can't go anywhere without dealing with this little tiny dog. I've learned this. The 15 dumbest dogs, I looked up the dumbest dogs and the dumbest cats. The dumbest dogs, there's beagles in there, bulldogs, chihuahuas, and Pekingese. Yeah.
Wow.
Chihuahua's near the bottom of the list, but then there's some of these smaller dogs, but also bigger dogs. Actually, St. Bernard is on the 15 list. Now, I looked up the 15 dumbest cats, and they were all dumb. They're stupid.
John, you have some prejudices against cats.
Yeah, they're all stupid. But anyway, I don't like my one of dealing with a cat for a year or so was enough for me to realize I don't like. We've hit on the dog food thing. We really haven't hit on the where people will spend so much money when they're leaving, or pet hotels, pet saunas. Have you done any of that? Weird, fancy.
Never done that. No. Go to the vet. Make sure the shots are up to date. I do get Goose groomed because of his long hair, but
so swinging into the idea of pet care and turn to the medical side, I have known one person. In reality, there was a 15-year-old cat that had cancer, and the guy said, "Well, it's not going to really live, but we can do this. We can do chemo. We can do this. We can do that." So the woman spends $10,000 at least. And then again, in about probably less than a month, it passed away. And you go, is this my idea is this extreme stuff really makes them suffer longer. And it's almost immoral to spend that much money on a pet versus okay, give your $15,000 to charity and help somebody. So there's a kind of a morality issue,
and like I said before, why it doesn't make sense to me either to spend money on a 15-year-old cat. I had a 12-year-old dog He had Cushing's, which is like a retention of water. Well, the drug treatment every month was $300 and didn't guarantee anything. And I'm like, oh, okay, we'll just put him down. And the vet was like, fine. And
I mean, I'm sad. When I put my one dog that I went to, when I put both of those first two, I mean, I was slightly emotional about it. I maybe tear up a little bit. Especially, it's hard to believe, isn't it?
I don't tear up much, John, even when,
Yeah, but what I started...
Well, maybe not, because see, I kind of teared up with Leo because I didn't see it coming, okay? But, mostly deaths, whether it's a human or an animal, when you see it coming, I'm always kind of ready for it.
But what's weird when you put them down, as I was thinking about what they do with it afterwards, it's kind of like not good after they kill it. So that's kind of why, my last dog, I didn't want to discuss all that in detail, but that's why I liked the idea of having it was weird, even though it sounds weird. I was glad he died in the backyard, seemed peaceful enough. And then we actually buried him with a little ceremony, and it felt good for me and my son. And I still see that still in my backyard. I still have that little area under a tree. I wish I could. I don't think you can put your dog down and take it home.
30,000 years, they're going to dig that up and say, this society had some strange pet burial rites.
Hit on most of the topics I wanted to, except the one about dogs have emotional problems, apparently. And so there's these veterinarian behavioralists. That's what they call them, not pet psychiatrists. They call them that. And they make 120 to 170,000 a year, and they're treating dogs for depression and dogs for stress problems. And I don't know, what do they treat them like? If they get mad at their master, that the dog goes pees on his leg. I don't know what they're doing. Also, I wanted to know, because this has happened enough with dogs, what is the deal with a dog humping your leg? Is that a behavior problem or just a genetic problem? No, is it like an automatic reaction to a man's leg? What is the deal with dogs humping your leg? Can you explain that to me? I know you've experienced it, Carl. Don't tell me you haven't.
I don't think I've had a dog. I'm trying to think of all the male dogs.
Were they all neutered? I mean, all
Yeah, they're all
fixed?
neutered. I wonder if it's just even I've seen dogs that are neutered kind of.
Have you ever had one peed on your leg because he was mad at you?
Never had a dog pee on my leg because he's mad at me. I've had him snap at me.
There's some dogs that are because people don't manage them right, they get really out of control with visitors. We've discussed quite a bit what we think about pet owners. Again, I think a lot of that extra stuff that you hear about people are willing to spend on is really more what person thinks would be nice for the dog. The dog couldn't care less.
But my counterpoint is, you, John, may perceive somebody as over-pampering their pet. But if that somebody isn't socially isolated, like they actually use the pet to go to pet parks and stuff and meet other people and even join groups that are like all about some breed of pet, and they can afford it, I can't see it as being excessive. It's fine.
Can see that. Also, I think there's an advantage to a male having a small dog when he's 22 and walking it in the park. That's how he meets all the ladies. What a cute dog.
I think that's a scene from 101 Dalmatians.
Anyway, no, it used to happen to me. They would say, "Oh, I love your dog, and you've got animal magnetism." And I'd go, "Yes, I do." And then I'd always introduce, and I said, "Can I have your number? And then you can help me with my dog."
I need a pet sitter every once in a while, and I'm not actually going anywhere.
It's better than going to bars. You get more interest than bars. So anyway, let's switch gears. We're going to have call-ins next.
All right.
Our first call-in, I got it from the pre-screening guy that he's an anarchist. Our first caller. I'm an anarchist. I love to go to dog pounds and release them all out into the streets. I love to do that. Free the dogs. Let the dogs out. I love that. I'm not sure it's that great for them, but I love to free dogs. And, I love my dog, and the only way I can be an anarchist is I inherited a lot of money from my capitalist dad, and I love to give premium dog food to my wiener dog. So what I found is I've taste tested all of these premium foods with my dog, and there's this New Zealand canine stuff is $288 for a 10-pound bag. So I'm spending my money on fancy dog food. I've tried them all myself. So I taste test them along with my dog. I put them in a bowl. I get a bowl. We put a little water on and we eat it. And then we're so satisfied after. I sit down there on the floor. We talk to each other. I smoke a cigarette. I give them a little ice cream and we're so happy. Now, do you think it's rational to spend this kind of money on dog food? What do you really think, you guys?
Well,
Carl, you're first.
I'm totally with you, anarchist boy.
You.
Stick it to the man. Stick it to the man.
So you've gone to
not with you though on releasing the hounds.
Let the dogs out. Let the dogs out.
I'm okay with you spending your money any way you feel fit. You know, if you're filthy rich and you want to pamper your dog with that, what was it, New Zealand dog food?
Yeah, the K9, $288.
I'm just
$200.
And if you're eating it with them and feeling good, you know, power to you, brother. Criminal behavior, releasing dogs that who knows what kind of diseases they have, or if they're ever going to make it anywhere alive, or they get hit by a car or eaten by wolves.
Well, you did
not
say
not very humane, and I think you need to correct that behavior.
I've taste tested a lot of dog food.
I can believe that, John.
I have.
I have not, but
I have. Like even the Purina, different levels of Purina. I go chew one or two of the crunches, and I go, "Oh, this is kind of weird tasting."
kind of
I
salty.
haven't. It's kind of bland. A lot of it's fairly bland. So anyway, that might be appealing to the dog. But anyway, I always taste tested my dog food. You might think that's idiotic. So this guy, like putting food in both bowls and trying it out. I think he loved it himself, and then he had an after-the-fact cigarette. That was weird.
You shouldn't smoke around your pet. There is secondhand smoke issues. So.
And then he gives them ice cream, which is another thing you shouldn't.
Yeah, the ice cream. I forgot about the ice cream. That's not good for dogs. They're not into... You shouldn't give milk excessive amounts. I mean, licking a spoon is one thing, but a bowl of ice cream.
Remember, our parents had a
Springer
Spaniel, and every night for a long time, for years, they give him a bowl. When they had a bowl of ice cream, they give their dog a bowl of ice cream. That probably did not help him. Maybe.
Now the doggy ice cream now, John, is not ice. It's not made from. It's some other kind of yogurt or something.
Still, people give their dogs weird stuff.
They do.
We're done with the anarchists.
I'm okay with the anarchists. Just keep your face covered. Any more call-ins?
Okay, this second guy, we believe based off the pre-call, is some guy from England. So let's hear the caller from England.
Hello, I'm a Grand Knight of the English Gloucester Dog Society and Cat Lovers Branch. I am so pampered with dogs. I love to pamper the dogs. I love pampering dogs, but I hate the cats. I hate cats, but I own a cat because my wife loves this cat. And she says it has back problems. So guess what? As a pamperer of the Knight Society, I take him to the cat chiropractic. They do both. And he snaps his back. We get this done. What kind of pampering is that? Do you believe, with your wisdom, that we should be pampering pets like this? Giving them dog chiropractics? I don't even get them. My back hurts like hell. So give me your opinion on the idea of dog chiropractic. Dog and cats. Remember, I own a cat, but I hate him. Thank you.
The idea he's pampering his dog to the extreme that they actually go to pet chiropractors is wild to me. And I didn't even believe there was such a thing until my son showed a video of this guy cracking the back of a cat and a dog. And he even went to cracking the back of a guinea pig. And I'm going, this is idiotic. I don't know.
Did they seem to like it?
Well, he would scream at the time he cracked their back. He would go, yeah. Whatever the animal sound was, or that dog or cat, I just don't think. But hell, I don't know. I mean, I'm
okay with it if he can afford it. Unless maybe in Gloucester, maybe it's part of the public health program.
It's
dog, cat, chiropractic.
Actually, maybe
that's why they're having budgetary issues.
I never thought about that. Let's not do human public health. I
can see massaging, just like any animal. animal, like the dogs here, if you rub them hard, they actually like it better than if you're just petting them, so it's kind of like a massage of the muscles. Cracking the back, I'm like going, how the heck did they know that's the problem?
Well, I saw in this video, he was doing it. He would do a full Nelson on the cat and go, it was like, what the heck?
Don't have to look that one up. Yeah, I'm not going for your chiropractor. I'm wondering what it costs. If it's excessive, if you can afford it, it's up to you.
I bet it's more than a person going to a chiropractor because there's so many more regular chiropractors. Gosh. It's ridiculous. So this guy is nuts, in our opinion. We have another call in. And again, our pre-screener says he's a rancher out in West Texas. So let's hear what he has to say.
I'm a West Texas rancher. I've had hundreds of dogs. I love dogs. And I do not believe in putting a dog down by taking him to the vet and giving him that needle. Those dogs don't like that needle. No, sir. Oh, no. So I give them what I call when they're ready to go, I give them the premium exit. Usually at 15, I say, you're old enough. I'm going to give you the premium exit. I go buy 10 of those big Swiss chocolate bars, 70% cocoa, and I feed it to them for 2 or 3 days. They usually drop dead in the field, and they look peaceful and all that. I bury them here. There's no way I'm taking them to the vet. So what do you think about this premium exit way to go? I think this is a wonderful way. I'm kind of touting this. What do you guys think? Is this a high-end way to let your dogs die in peace? Or do you think it's somehow inhumane? Thank you.
Okay, Carl, why don't you respond to this?
Well, sir, I'm typing in right now your name and address to the ASPCA about cruelty to animals. And if you don't know what that long acronym means, it's the American Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, because giving them chocolate is not the premium way to go. I mean, you're going to have a dog with the level you said, the 70%. Isn't that what you said?
Well, he
Cocoa
said,
bars. Yeah, they're going to be throwing up.
Fancy Swiss chocolate.
They're going to be throwing up. They're going to be having stomach cramps. They're going to have a hard time breathing with all the caffeine. Yeah, they're going to go in a painful way. So I'll have to say you're out of your mind. Go talk to Christy Nome. I think her method is even more humane than yours.
Christy Nome was shooting the dog after
shooting the puppy because they're untrainable. Yeah.
Actually,
make sure you hit him in the head. I mean, that would kind of be cruel if you just maimed him.
I fed chocolate to my dog, the one that died in the backyard.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the cause of it. No, periodically I give him chocolate. It didn't seem to affect him.
Well, how much, John?
Well, I'd give him, like
quarter of a Hershey bar?
6 Hershey bars at once. No. No, I give him a little taste. Yeah, and the thing, he actually liked it okay. I think killing a dog with chocolate is not the way to go, as I accidentally find out, giving him a lot of fat to the point might really accelerate their passing away. Yeah. Okay, so we disagree with this. This is kind of cruel and unusual, even though, anyway, I've given a dog a little bit.
I think an injection where they die quietly is probably the most humane way.
Do they ever gas them now?
No, not that I know of. Last animals I would put down are all injected with something, and then they I think it was like some kind of strong opioid where they just kind of went zip.
So if that's the least cruel, why do people say it's cruel to do lethal injections on humans when they're putting them away? Anyway, off the subject. Sorry. It is really, I just thought about that. Why, it's if it's so good, such a good version, why do they complain? Okay, I think they're complaining because they're dying, but...
Yes, I think it's a general opposition to capital punishment.
Our next caller is a poor guy calling in. Well, let's hear what the poor guy has to say.
I'm a poor guy, and I love McDonald's. I eat there a lot. I love McDonald's. I'm kind of alone, but I love to pamper my dog. My dog is my best friend. And I have this nice mattress and these clean sheets, and I let him sleep with me. I mean, this is crazy, really, but I can't help it. I love to take care of my dog. I love to pamper him, but I start thinking about it. Man, I don't know. Should you let your dog sleep in your bed? I just don't know. Can you tell me? Give me some advice.
Okay, Carl, I know you sleep with your dog because I could see the damn thing behind you. So why don't you respond to this guy they got a nice
I'm concerned
mattress.
that you have feces and fleas. You're obviously not cleaning or checking your bedding frequently enough. It's nice that you have a good relationship with your dog, especially looking like your situation, the dog's warmth would be helpful during the winter.
He's spooning with the dog.
I change our sheets and bedding probably once a week. I check it if I see like muddy prints or anything on it. When I make the bed every day, John. And,
so he's on top of the
he's
bedding.
on top of the comforter.
So he never gets into the
He's not like under the sheets. It's not that cold in Dallas. It's not a 3-dog night.
A threesome, a 3-dog. I never.
That's where that title came from. That band's name, 3-Dog Night.
Yeah, where did it come from?
Come from
hanging out with
such
dogs?
a cold night that you need 3 dogs to pull into bed with you or into where you're sleeping to keep you warm. Dog's body temperature is about 1.5 degrees or 2 degrees higher than humans. And they will keep you hot. If you're hot-natured, you don't want a dog laying next to you.
My view of this sleeping with dogs is probably a little bit unsanitary. It's really not the feces and fleas because you can control the fleas, but it's still hair. There's a lot of hair will shed.
A lot of hair.
A lot of hair in your beds. If you're a little bit allergic, then it's probably going to be not the best thing.
That's why everybody's getting these doodles now, John. They think the doodles
the little
is the
hairless,
solution to the hair problem. But
hairless, whatever they call them.
Not hairless.
Hypoallergenic dogs.
Well, they have hair instead of fur, and it doesn't fall out at the rate fur falls out. If you get the right, it's not like all doodles don't have shedding. It's a long story. But
shedding that's a lot of effort. You have that Roomba.
That's what I have, John. I have actually a shark. Let me give a little shout out to Shark. Maybe they'll sponsor you, but
thanks for that. I need sponsors. I need subscribers even. I need people that care. We don't really agree with sleeping with the pets. But anyway, let's go on to the final call-in, and then we'll wrap up. Our final guy, again, the pre-screener said he's from Alaska, and he's a trapper.
I'm an Alaskan trapper, and I've had dogs all of my life. And I'm here to complain about the way down in the lower 48, people treat their dogs like they're friggin' gold they're gonna break, and they give them all this sissy crap. I can't stand that fancy food, fancy feast, weirdo science diet. That's a bunch of bull crap. I have given dogs straight Purina dog chow for years, and they've lived to be 17 and so forth. So what the hell is wrong with everybody in the U.S. spending so goddamn much on food for dogs? Give me your opinion.
Well, first of all, I agree with the trapper. Even though he looks like an idiot, the guy is right. You can just give him regular dog food, take care of them in a standard way, and socialize them with them, and everything's good. I really actually agree with him. He almost looks like my second cousin. I don't know. Carl, what do you think?
He's vaguely familiar looking, as was the homeless/poor guy.
I love the hat, though, on the trap.
Yeah, the hat on the trapper.
So what's your take?
Kind of wondering how he guided that sled when he couldn't see out of the hat. I'm leaning towards him more. I think most people waste their money on their animals, but that's kind of the fur baby generation. It's shifted. Marketing has done it. There's money to be made. Let's make America feel guilty about their dogs.
All these dog food guys, they're all probably linked. Big business is involved with pushing ads after ad. Everything. We don't cook ours at, 400 degrees. Enzymes. I don't know, peptides. There's probably peptide dog food now, along with collagen embedded in it. Damn it.
And there's 80 grams of protein.
Put drugs into your dog food if they make them feel good.
I always say, whenever you see a huge ton of marketing, the margins are huge. Do you see Purina dog food commercials? I don't see them.
Not regular. It's all a
Fresh
specialized.
Pet and Farmer's Dog, they're on all the time.
I think we kind of agree with the Alaskan trapper that this high-end pet food stuff is maybe a little over the top. I don't think dogs even care enough. Dogs and cats. Cats are picky, but they like things that are stinky. I mean, we've all seen dogs eat.
Don, it's funny you say that, but it's not totally true. That Leo cat I had, he would not eat wet cat food. He would only eat dry kibble, but he loved his dry kibble.
And remember, dogs, switching to dogs, they sometimes eat poop and grass. So they must not be too picky.
Maybe we should market a dog food that tastes like shit.
The poopin' grass blend.
It looks like it. Our marketing would be keep your dog from eating his own shit by eating this.
And instead of having little pellets, it's
Big
long
pellets,
like
big
Baby
logs.
Ruth. Like Baby Ruth.
But no chocolate.
Yeah, no chocolate.
We don't want
Only
to
a
feed
little
dog
bit.
chocolate.
Okay, with that, we're both going to give our take.
Yes, the pet pampering business has got a little out of control. But like in any other business or any other market, if there's money to be made and the margins are good, people are going to sell the stuff and then people are going to buy it. So I don't think it's a problem. I think it can be but I think it can be an individual problem. Quit pampering your pet, give them a doggy ice cream once a week and a couple of dog bones and a bunch of Purina.
My take is I right now prefer not having any pets. So that's been helpful to me because I could do what the hell I want. If I was back to having pets, I think I was never excessive. I spoiled them in certain ways, I'm sure.
Like 5 pounds of rendered fat.
I'd give them some interesting food that they liked. Apparently, it wasn't a good idea. But I do think it's gone way too much. You could be spending that money elsewhere. And I do think this is more of an issue as people get older, honest, where there's a lot of senior people that almost get too kind of emotionally tied to their pets and start going a little bit way overboard. I think because anybody could spend over the top amounts of money. That's my take, whether you like it or not. I would like to thank my co-host and all of my listeners. You are the reason I do this. I also love to do it. Anyway, please subscribe and look out for the next bi-weekly episode of Half Truths and Whole Lies. And as we all know, we look for the truths behind all of the lies.